Page 46, Red River Valley. It's just another piece that gives us a chance to play something in A flat major. 4 flats. It says it's in cut time, but for the purpose of talking about it, I'm going to put it in 4/4 time. We're going to pretend it's 4/4 time, so a quarter note gets a count. So we're coming in the right hand on beat 3, 3, 4. And all you do, just the rhythm isn't a problem, bunch of quarter notes, just make sure you got these flats in. Second line, second measure, bring up the thumb up here. That's a D flat. Then the third line you're here, it's not a problem. The last line, you got to come down. You got a 1 beat rest to come down. The third finger. And the left hand, you just got the primary chords. The broken chords, so the first. 1 and 4 chords. And the last measure, the second line, is 5/7 chord. Here. That's really all you're doing in the left hand is these chords. Sometimes you don't use all 3 notes in them. You just use 2 notes, but the point is that's really all it is. So you put them together. 1, 2. You recognize this pattern in the left hand, the broken chords? You've had that before? So forth. See, I point out these patterns because you'll see them in music in various places, and when you're improvising, and this is an arrangement, you can improvise on this after you learn it, is you can try different patterns in the left hand and experiment with it and have fun with it. After you learn it, always learn it the way it's written first. Get that out of the way. And then if you want to experiment, go ahead and experiment. Now, if you're dealing with a classical piece and it's the original like the composer wrote it, don't experiment. Play it the way it's written. But on this stuff, have fun with it. Now, it's got words. You can sing if you want to. I ain't singing, but you can sing if you want to. It's sort of loud. That's the right hand. Keep the left hand soft. And also that sort of loud is just a general guide. You're in that area. So you can get louder and softer as you feel it, as you get to know the piece. Then you put it back in cut time. 1, 2, and the quarter note gets half a count. So you're coming in on beat 2. So it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1, 2. See the flow of it? Now there's a note at the top where you can transpose it to A major. It works out okay in this case because you're going to read the same notes, except you're just going to put in 3 sharps instead of 3 flats. It's okay if you know what the 3 sharps are. If you're familiar with the key of A major, you know the scale, you know the notes in it, this kind of stuff is easy. You just think the key signature. You're not thinking, okay, which note is sharp and which isn't. You just play it in A major. So I'm playing. Because I know A major has an F sharp, a C sharp, and a G sharp. Those are the 3. So I'm just going to play these notes, but I'm going to sharpen these keys when it comes time for it. And the primary chords is a 1 chord, a 4 chord for A major, so I can play it in A major. It works out because I can read the notes as they are. Otherwise, I got to transpose the notes too, and that's a little tougher. Yeah, I'll leave that to you. I'd like to play this with you slowly. Now double check the notes and the rhythms. The rhythms I'm hoping isn't a problem, but let's make sure we have the right notes. There's a lot of flat keys going on. And I put the metronome on half notes because that's the beat. So a quarter note gets half a count. So I'm going to give us 3 counts, 3 half notes. 1, ready, and go, and. So be ready for that. 1 and ready and go and. Rest. 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 off.